Pam looked around conspiratorially, lowering her voice. Mostly new hires. Ever since you left, we've had a bit of turnover. Charlie felt a pang of guilt. Though he'd moved on to other things, Forrester Creations had always been a place he took pride in keeping safe. It was time to unravel the mystery. As the days went on, Charlie became increasingly sure that the pranks were actually calculated moves by someone targeting Forrester Creations. He noticed a pattern to the breaches. Files were taken from departments that dealt with sensitive designs and prototype access. The entire situation felt personal, as if someone were trying to harm the company from within. Determined to find answers, Charlie set up a stakeout one night, hiding in the shadows of the darkened office floor. He waited patiently, not moving an inch, until he saw a figure creep toward Ridge's office. The figure wore all black and a cap pulled low over their face. As they reached out for the door handle, Charlie sprang from the shadows, flashlight in hand. "Freeze!" Charlie barked, his voice carrying authority. The figure recoiled but quickly darted away down the hall. Charlie raced after them, dodging around corners and barely keeping up. But the intruder was fast, slipping through a stairwell door and disappearing into the night. Panting, Charlie stopped at the exit, frustrated but more determined than ever. Whoever was behind this knew the building too well, which only added to the list of possible suspects. The following morning, Charlie met with Ridge, Brooke, and Eric to relay the news of his encounter. Someone's targeting Forrester Creations, and it's not just about designs. They know our layout, they know our people, and they're slipping right past our security. "I'll need unrestricted access to get to the bottom of this," Charlie insisted. "Whatever you need," Ridge agreed, clearly troubled by the intrusion. "This has gone on long enough." Charlie pored over files, names of past employees, and security reports, eventually stumbling upon a troubling pattern. He noticed that certain employees seemed to be connected to the events in subtle ways. But the most consistent name to come up was one he least expected. A former security guard, Lucas Stain, who'd left Forrester after a quiet exit. Lucas was known for his ambition, but had always stayed in the background. Charlie recalled rumors about Lucas feeling slighted when he didn't receive a promotion Charlie himself had unknowingly secured at the time. Driven by curiosity, Charlie tracked down Lucas' last known address and went to pay him a visit. Arriving at Lucas' modest apartment, Charlie could feel the tension in the air. He knocked on the door and waited, unsure of what kind of reception he'd receive. The door opened slowly, and there stood Lucas, looking both surprised and wary. "Charlie, what are you doing here?" "I think you know why I'm here, Lucas," Charlie replied, folding his arms. "There's been a string of incidents at Forrester, and I have reason to believe you're involved." Lucas laughed, a hint of bitterness in his voice. "You think I care enough to go back there? I've moved on." "Have you?" Charlie pressed. "Because someone's been in the building, someone who knows it well enough to avoid every camera, every guard, just like you would." For a moment, Lucas' face softened, but he quickly steeled himself. "Believe what you want, but I'm not the one doing this." Yet there was something about his tone that told Charlie otherwise. Though he left empty-handed, Charlie's instincts told him Lucas knew more than he was letting on. Back at Forrester, Charlie recounted the encounter to Pam over lunch. "I'm telling you, Pammy, it's him. He's hiding something, and I think it's connected to the prankster." Pam leaned in, whispering conspiratorially. "Maybe he's bitter about losing the job, but why come back just to play pranks?" Charlie shook his head, thinking hard. "That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's almost like he's trying to send a message, to prove something." Pam's face lit up with realization. "Charlie, what if he wants to expose security flaws? Prove Forrester's weak without him?" It clicked for Charlie. Lucas wasn't just playing pranks. He was demonstrating that Forrester Creations could be vulnerable without him. It was a twisted game, but one that was dangerously effective. Armed with his new theory, Charlie devised a plan to catch Lucas in the act. He would create a scenario that would lure him back into the building. Enlisting the help of Ridge and Eric, they spread the word that a set of high-profile celebrity designs would be locked in Ridge's office that evening, unguarded due to staff shortages. Sure enough, just as Charlie anticipated, the figure in black returned. Hiding behind the shadows in Ridge's office, Charlie waited for Lucas to enter. The door creaked open, and the intruder stepped inside, moving toward